Not gonna lie, I was a little confused. Ellie told me that her toe had a headache. I'm still not sure what it meant, but it has gone away. So let's get this podcast started. Welcome back to Not Gonna Lie, a Wave original brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. I'm your host, Kylie Kelce, 33-year-old teen mom, Gotham FC women's soccer fan, until Philadelphia gets a team, and officially no longer the record holder for the most watched episode of the other podcast. And there's no way it's even close. And I love that for me. Full disclosure, we're taping this episode on Tuesday morning. So new this week has, I shouldn't say new. That felt weird. We're taping this episode on Tuesday morning. So the other podcast, we all know what's about to happen. And I love it so much. It is very entertaining to watch the internet break. It's just crumbling apart. And I love it. I love that a day before it releases, we know at Not Gonna Lie that my interview on the other podcast is it's going to lose its long tenured reign as top watched episode. And I welcome that wholeheartedly. Let's drop that sucker all the way down. Let's just boop, boop. But also, I'm also excited to watch the episode. Very much so. I want to find out all the things because I don't know that what's they're saying. Anyway, a lot of real ones and people in my real life have been asking me if I knew this was happening. And to that I say, we also got this question from real one Grace Davis. Orange album? Question mark. Jason Kelce, in honor of the new album, you should buy at Kylie Kelce at NGL with Kylie an orange tabby cat. I'm just saying, your girls will love it. Great idea. Let's slide the cat in there. We'll bait and switch Jason. We'll show him like, oh my gosh, whoa, you guys are breaking the internet with your podcast. Boom, cat in the house. He'll never know. Outstanding. No notes. I don't think the cat dream is any closer to coming true. I do have to break that to you. I think we're probably a little ways out from the cat. But like I've said before, we're in this for the long game. There will be a cat in our future. Now that that's been addressed, coming up on today's episode, there is nothing I love more in this world than being a mom. But occasionally I do miss a few small luxuries from my pre-parenting life, like not having to schedule my showers. Yeah. So I'm going to get honest about that. And some other simple joys that are currently, we'll call it, on hold. After that, I'm going to be joined by Grammy-winning singer, songwriter, and dancer. She's a 2000s R&B icon and someone I have, you guessed it, zero business speaking to. Guys, we got Ciara. I'm so excited. We had the pleasure of meeting this past weekend at Gotham FC, which you'll hear about in our interview. But I have to tell you guys something, because you know I always want to give you unfiltered truth. She's even prettier in person. She floats, like she glided into the room. Stunning. But first, let's get right into Doomscroll of the week. This week, I found myself doomscrolling our own mentions because they were absolutely glazing since I did our Gen Z slang pop quiz. Chat, did I use glazing right? You clocked that? Nailed it. First up, there was even more new slang you guys wanted me to know about. Real one, Liz's New Beginning, commented on our slang clip. Please do part 2 with the Gen Z term cracked/got cracked, because it's not what you think at all. According to Urban Dictionary, cracked means internet gaming term used for people who are insanely good at something. Okay, that's not the cracked that I looked up. I believe I looked up got cracked, which is very different. We should put a parental warning on this one. I hope that there aren't kids listening. Queen Emma, roll the clip. It says, got, quote, cracked last night. Everyone's packages will be delivered on time today. That's what the UPS man is saying. And for those of you who are listening audience, he puts his foot up on the front seat and gyrates a little bit. Well done, sir. A user on the What Does This Mean subreddit defines got cracked very eloquently. It means she received a respectable romp between the sheets with a partner of her choosing. Okay. Got it. I think we can all agree. The day. There's no way that's. I think that does it for got cracked. Chat! Next up, can I be honest? I was down the shore over the weekend, and as I was sitting there, absolutely covered in sand, trying to keep my eyes on all 4 children, as 3 of them are running in opposite directions. Trying to build a sandcastle from my chair because I'm holding the 4-month-old, but also trying to stay in the shade, trying to sunscreen them so that we don't end up with sunburn on tiny humans, opening snack bags, but also trying to get the sand off of their hands while their hands are still wet. And then they try to get up off the sand with their hands in the sand. I looked out to the water and realized I miss swimming in the ocean. There are so many things as a parent that you take for granted. You think to yourself, it's not going to be that different. I just have to take care of this tiny human. And then it's the little things, these teeny tiny little things that pop up and you're just like, well, damn. So I want to preface this by explaining that I love being a mom. And I've said this a number of times, that I am unbelievably grateful to have my tiny humans. It is a privilege, and I recognize that. But I'm going to get real honest about this. So I already said swimming in the ocean. Here's the rest of my list of the top 10 things I miss most as a mom. And by that, I mean recently, because I guarantee you 2 months from now, it's going to be a different list. Number 1, I miss sitting down for extended periods of time. I don't want to come wipe your butt. I want to sit my butt in a spot and I want to stay there. Okay? 2, I miss wearing 2 AirPods because I put one in to hear a text message, a phone call. This is a little bit of a life hack. If you are doing things with your children, if you put an AirPod in, you will be able to hear your phone dictate your text messages. You'll know that you got a phone call. The important things will still happen, but you can leave your phone in the other room so that your tiny humans don't steal it. Number 3, I miss showering whenever I want, for however long I want. Now, I, of course, if at any point needed to shower, could tell my husband or whoever is with the kids, hey, I'm going to go shower, right? But it's not that simple. I need to plan it around when I work out. I need to plan it on feeds for the child. I need to plan around the tiny humans having eyes on them. I just want to take a shower. I want to take an everything shower on a more regular basis. Number 4, I miss giving people my undivided attention. I want to have a conversation with another grown adult in my house without having mom, 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 mama, mom, mommy, mom, mom, mommy, mom, mom, excuse me, mom, excuse me, mom, excuse me, mom, excuse me, mom, mom, excuse me. It's that bad. And the worst part is that now that we've arrived at the destination of understanding that you need to say, excuse me, it's unbelievably cute. And they're being polite. So I feel like I then have to, even if I'm like, hey, I appreciate that you said, excuse me, but mom's in the middle of a conversation. As soon as I'm done, I will ask you what you needed from me. Okay. But mom, just real quick. I just want to talk to someone and be able to lock in. Number 5, I miss leaving the house with at most my phone and my keys. I don't want to have diapers, wipes, hand sanitizer, an outfit for every single person in the car. Number 6, I miss not having to plan aggressively around outside temperatures. Do you know what I personally wear when it's raining? Exactly what I wear when it's not fucking raining. Number 7, I miss watching movies and TV shows that I want to watch. Don't get me wrong. I give a lot of love to a lot of kids shows on here, and there are certain ones that I'm okay watching. Like, I enjoy it. But sometimes you just want to rewatch New Girl for the 72nd time and not be argued with. Number 8, I miss getting to actually play games at an arcade. So this one is a little niche. But we have an arcade that we go to at the shore, and I love arcade games. I am a competitive human being. And do I want any of the prizes? Not really. Do I want to win? You're fucking right, I do. But I can't do that if I have a child hanging on my leg and another one in my right arm. We kind of cracked the code last summer because I had a sitter so that we could go to the arcade after our kids went to sleep. I did that. Don't tell them. I swear to God, if you tell them, I'll never hear the end of it. Don't tell them. Number 9, I miss sitting down to an uninterrupted meal. If I'm lucky, you want to go a step further, doing that with my husband. Number 10, I miss getting a full 8 hours of sleep. This is the most self-explanatory. I miss it. When I didn't have tiny human feeding overnight, I swear they take turns. They have a little meeting right before bedtime. They're like, hey, I'm actually really tired tonight. Anyone else want to take this shift? And one of the other ones is going to be like, I got this. I'm going to have a nightmare about a spider. I'm going to scream my fucking head off. And then guess what they do? 2:15. Mom! That does it for my list. And for Can I Be Honest? Let me know what's on your list by tagging us at NGL with Kylie. Coming up, Ciara is about to join the show right after my brand new minivan mini update, brought to you by Toyota. It's been a few months now since we made the decision to go with the Toyota Sienna as our family car, and I have to admit, I might be done resisting my minivan mom era. Mostly because it's here. But nobody tell Jason. This stays between us. I have no one to blame for this change of heart besides my Sienna herself. She's simply making it way too easy for me to embrace minivan life. The number of times that I have had full hands and kicked my foot under the door or under the trunk, and it just magically opened. Chef's kiss. I also got to shout out the Toyota Sienna's built-in vacuum. I use that thing all the time, and I think every parent out there knows exactly what I'm talking about. I'm pretty sure they have snacks stuffed in their pockets, and when they come into the car, they just sprinkle them. If you've been resisting the minivan life like I was, take it from me. Just take the leap. Go for a test drive at your local Toyota dealership and head to toyota.com/Sienna to learn more. She's the iconic Grammy Award-winning singer, songwriter, and dancer who brought us such classic bangers like 1-2 Step, Goodies, and Like a Boy, which I jammed out hard to this morning. She's got 8 studio albums, including her newest one, CC, out August 22nd. She's also a fellow mom of 4, a wife of an NFL player. I can't believe I'm saying this. Ciara, welcome to Not Gonna Lie.
Hi, Kylie. Good morning. How
Good
are
morning.
you?
I am so excited to talk to you. We just had the pleasure of running into each other at the Gotham FC game this past weekend. Did you enjoy the game? Did you get to watch?
I did. I enjoyed the game. I had such a great time. I went there to help light the torch, which is
Yes.
a very special tradition that they have there at FC Gotham, and meeting all the girls as well. The whole team was really cool. It's funny because Russ and I are proud part owners of the Seattle Sounders soccer team. And obviously, there's Seattle Reign. And we just understand the significance of women in sports in general. And so, while I represent another club in Seattle that is, the home team for me, it still was important to be there for a day like that, which was so important. I know Dove had the keeper in the game, movement going. And I think it's important for us to be there for as many people as possible to show up for girls all over. So I'm like, this is the one day I'll break the rule because, I want to be there. I'll cross the team lines.
That's it. Step into enemy territory.
Yeah, I had a great time. Did you have a good time as well?
It was incredible and such an honor to be there. Like you said, supporting women because we need it.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's such a great example. They had so many initiatives of bringing in young athletes to see these women, showing them exactly what they can strive to be. So
Yeah.
it was a really cool day. Now, before we go any further, I actually have to start with my own not gonna lie. We met before. This is such an embarrassing story.
We did. What happened?
We've met one time. And I took this experience with me afterwards and was just like, like when you talk to someone and you just have this moment afterwards and you're like, you're a moron. Because I was in the bathroom at the Super Bowl in Miami, I believe it was, feeding our oldest, who's now 5. So this was 5 years ago. And
Okay.
I was feeding her in the bathroom and you had just announced, I believe it is your third that you were pregnant with.
Yeah. When?
And I said, oh, congratulations. And you said, you were so gracious, of course. You were like, thank you so much. And I was like, oh, by the way, my husband loves your husband. And you, of course, again, so sweet. We're like, oh, that's so nice. Thank you. And in my head, I was like, oh, wait, you think my husband is a fan of your husband, which he is, but he also knows him. So then I was like in a panic to be like, oh, well, they were just at Pro Bowl together last week. I was like, gosh, it's not getting any better. So then I was just like, okay. And I was like, there wasn't a nice way to say that just a couple days ago, your husband was behind my husband,
Catch and snap.
Exactly. I was like, gosh, you just made it sound like your husband. And he is, like I said, a fan of your husband. But it was just so funny that in the moment I was just like, oh, I never thought of it that way.
That's so funny.
Yes.
That is comedy. Well, my husband's also a fan of your husband and his legacy that he built. And, so there's love both ways.
We'll circle back to football. But right now, I'd love to talk to you about some of your music. Like I said, I'm a big fan and I'm so excited about your new album, CC, which comes out August 22nd. What's your favorite song from the new album?
Oh, man, let me tell you, I'm so excited for this album, Kylie. This album's a labor of love because it's literally been almost like 5 years and some change since I've been working on it. And I've also been releasing songs in real time. And I'll tell you, this is the first time I think I will be saying this on an interview. As you know, the 22nd is the big day that my fans finally get to unlock the album. And when I say unlock, because it started out as an EP. And then I shared that EP with the world. And there's like 6 or 7 songs on there. And then I was just creating along the way. And I'm like, I'm going to stop sitting on these songs. Like, my fans deserve to have these records. Don't overthink it. They say, think long, think wrong. I'm like, I want to tell my fans thank you for their support. Why hold back the music? Give it to them. So the 22nd, as you know, is the release date. And then fast forward to 3 days later, the deluxe album unlocks as well. So if you've already pre-saved and you order the album on the 22nd, you're going to automatically get that. So this is my first time sharing that. And the reason I'm saying that because one of my favorite songs is on the deluxe album, and it's called Low, and it's featuring an artist named Diamond Platinums, and he's from Tanzania. And I'm just in my Africa bag right now, and so the energy that comes from that song is so exciting and so refreshing for me. For creatively, it's so melodic. It's so feel good. It's like everything I could want in a song is in that song. And it's the perfect, it's like the perfect production of what I was hoping to make when I went in the studio to finish that record and to make it all come to life. So that's one of my favorites.
Now, I'd love to throw this conversation back to 2004, which was when your first album came out, as well as the beginning of my personal love for hip hop and R&B. I was raised on like good sort of that like soulful music. My dad loved to listen to it. So that's like what we listened to in the car. And then it just led me right into that early 2000s, like the late 90s, early 2000s hip hop and R&B is still to this day my go-to in the car. Like when it's just me, I'm like, that's it. I also read that your song Goodies was originally called Cookies.
Yeah, it was.
Now, what went into the decision of switching that name?
Well, back in the days, in that time, cookies was a hot word. There was a song, I think, from an artist in Miami. I don't remember the name of the artist at that time. And cookies was a word that they were kind of coining like at that moment, right? And I liked it, but I was like, that's just not broad enough, right? I'm like, I think this is fun because, you like to tap into like what's happening in urban pop culture. Like that's always a ways of like making music. Like sometimes you have that influence of what's happening in the streets. And I'm like, I like this, but this is not like allowing me to stretch as far as I want to. Like cookies is too limiting because the whole idea behind the song, I was this little girl jumping on this sofa in the studio. And I was like, who put their hands in the cookie jar? Who, me? Yes, you. Couldn't be. Then who? I was playing with that whole thing. And the analogy was like your love, your cookies, the cookie jar, your love. But it's like, no, it's gotta be broader than that. And so I literally rode around for like a month to like, I would ride in my car and just sing every line of a song, like every line of the hook, like, because I wanted to get every line right. Every line mattered to me. It's always a case in most cases. And I'm like, I just took my time and landed on the word goodies.
You'll have to excuse how naive I am about musical topics because I am not a musician and I own that fully. But I do think like the sort of quiet build of like my goodies and the G sound it like hits like in a way that's so smooth.
Cuts through.
Yes. It feels good when you hear it.
Like think about this. My cookies. No,
see, that feels choppy.
My goodie. It's
like nice and smooth. Right. Yes.
Yeah. So
you nailed that decision.
Thank you.
I recently watched a clip of your daughter interviewing you. And when she said, she called Missy Elliott Auntie Missy.
Yes.
I could not stop smiling. I told you at the Gotham FC game that I saw you guys perform when you guys were in Philly.
Yeah.
What is your friendship like with Missy Elliott? How does it feel to have someone like that who's so close to you in the industry with you?
Missy is really one of a kind. I'm so glad that I met her in my career when I did, because she was one of those people that with all the success that she had, and which I was so inspired from, she was never stingy with her wisdom. She's always been a person that's been the same person since day one. And I think that was just a great example to see, how you have to be. You've got to be like confident in who you are, especially in this industry, because if you're not, it will eat you alive.
I mean, that is the epitome of women supporting women, right? That you guys, there's space for everyone. There's room for both of you to exist and be successful, but also while lifting each other up. It's such a great example of that. I'd love to switch gears and talk to you about some football, because we have that in common as well. For anyone listening who might live under a rock, your husband, Russell Wilson, is now with the Giants. I'll tell you the same thing I always tell Giants fans. We can see eye to eye because we can collectively dislike the Cowboys together. So
that's big facts.
Yes.
I know. I was going to open up with you. I was going to be like, because we know, I mean, I'm learning the territory where I am. And obviously the, you know, that blue and silver and white team is definitely you know, it's a good history.
A nemesis. Yep.
Yeah. We got a good history there. And then we also know too, the Eagles, you know, it's like the whole history runs thick in this division.
It does.
Right. So I was like, you know, listen, on this podcast, you and I, we cool, but you know, yeah, that's how it would be. Right. Because I mean, listen, everybody in this region, like are diehard. Like I've never seen it this thick where there's more than one. Yeah. Not really. Where you see more than one back and
this close together.
Well, yeah. I mean, for the most part, I think it's more so the energy of like this region, right? You know, like when we were in Seattle, we didn't have, when we were in Seattle, we didn't have like multiples. It was us and the Niners. Like that was more like defined, you know, and I'll just talk about that time period and skip to now. But you know, it's, it's good stuff though. We're locked in this case for sure.
Are you guys moved to New York? Are you guys enjoying the transition?
Yeah, how's here. It been? We are in New York, and it's been so amazing. It's honestly been, you know, my dad's from New York, so I kind of got a little New York in my blood already, you know. But being here has been amazing because the culture, the community, like I've never seen this many playgrounds in a city. No, it's insane. Like it's so joyful, and seeing things from our kids' lens is really fun. So like our daughter, Sienna, she was packing, we were packing all their stuff. And then she pulls out this shiny pink outfit. And I'm like, Cece, we don't need all that. She's like, Mom, we're going to New York. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, you know, she had her perspective on the moment.
Sure.
Like it's exciting. And I'm excited for the opportunity of diversity as well. You know, I'm excited for, you know, for us with football, you know how this thing is like, his life is my life. Yes. You know, like we're connected. When he's on the field, I'm on the field.
Oh yeah.
I say all this to say it's a super exciting time. The Giants, you know, franchise is such a historic, iconic franchise. And so I'm very excited for us to be a part of that and what their mission is to build there. And, you know, just as you know, it all starts there and just trickles down to what we do as a family. And I couldn't be more pumped and optimistic about this time in our lives.
Now, I'm on record referring to football season as what I like to call single parent season. Just because the schedule is so, it is hardy.
It's beast.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it's beast.
How do you guys manage that?
Oh, yeah. So I like to do what we call organized chaos, right? I call my life organized chaos. It really is that way, as you know, and especially with the fella's schedule. So we're really big on being intentional with our schedule. And it's really that simple from my perspective, is that the schedule really is the blueprint, right? It helps us to keep things in line. Like, and the cool thing is with his schedule, I can maneuver my world around his more because their schedule is locked. You know, there's Monday night football, Thursday night football, Sunday, you know what to expect. And we see that schedule far in advance. So then I go, all right, like, for example, this is the craziest time. Originally, I had my album coming out in July because I was trying to beat everything before training camp and all that stuff. And then unfortunately, but fortunately for my fans, and I'll say for me creatively, I got to finish things up more. Now I'm falling in the thick of everything preseason, which is like, I've never really done it that way before. And like I know, we have our 4 precious babies.
Oh, yeah.
But the husband is the biggest baby to me. Like that is my 5th baby right there. Right. So it's like, I'm all in on every aspect, and the schedule is what really helps make it make sense. And then, add this in there, Kylie, as you know, because I'm also like, I'm very hands on. So I feel like an octopus most of my life. I really do. I feel like my arms are like this, my feet, and then I feel like there's never enough for me. Like,
no.
I've talked about this thing called the mommy choir. And it's literally mommy, 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 like all the kids. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's just not enough of me. Like I feel like that more often than not. So I'm going from basically from the stage to the classroom to a doctor's appointment or to Russ's practice. Like that's the cycle of my life. But if I didn't have a schedule, I don't even know.
When Jason retired, we very much ended up in like we will now figure out our new norm. And it was so much more fluid that we had to be so intentional. And like you're saying about like your 5th baby, like you chose your husband because you love him. You want to make sure that you still get that time to support each other, to be with each other. And now we've just had to get so intentional about it. So the idea of like making sure that you carve out that time. It's really is so important.
It is, we also, what we've done traditionally since day one, since, we were in each other's lives, is every Friday night we do date night. It's so cute because we were like talking like about how many date nights have we had? We were at a date night talking about it. And I was like, this is sweet because you think about like that intentionality, right? Like you have to, and I'll be honest, I'm one of those moms, like when I hear my baby's voices, my heart gets sweet because I like, if I'm around the corner, I'm like, oh, I need to go like touch them or hold them or feel them. And then I'm also like, we have to take care of us, right? As women and moms, because literally you are like an octopus every day of your life.
Yes.
But also, like you said, the husband and wife, like the mommy and daddy time is important too, right? And there's something really magical about taking care of that part, being able to just be with each other, not forgetting to do that.
Yep.
Because it's easy to forget to do that with our precious babies. But there's something really magical about going top down with that and how it just pours into the house so beautifully. That's why you mentioned Sienna doing her interview, with me. It was so cute because she was like, what's this album about? Love, romance? And I'm like, because she sees the love, right? And I was like, oh, well, that's so touching from, when you step back and look at it, like, this is a really cute and funny moment my young daughter is having. But I'm like, that's so sweet. And she gave me the eye roll when it's time for date night. She's like, you going on a date night? And I'm like, yes.
It is funny what they catch. It's funny what they like catch on to or latch on to, because our second, a few weeks ago, Jason went to walk out of the house and she goes, you didn't give mom a smoochy kiss. And I was like, yep,
so
get him back here.
That's so cute.
Yeah. But like, it's one of those where like, it's such like a routine and like a normal that's her example that is set for her, that she was like, oh, you forgot something. And I was like, yes, thank you so much, my little sidekick. Now, the one thing that I am absolutely fascinated about, just circling back to the NFL one more time, because you guys, you and your husband have kind of become matchmakers. Is that right? You posted a photo on TikTok of you and your husband FaceTiming DK Metcalf and Normani, who just got engaged, with the caption at Russell Wilson. And I knew when we introed y'all 3 years ago, love was truly in the air.
Yeah, so sweet. First of all, I have to shout the both of them out. We love them so dearly. Obviously, Russ and DK, they're like brothers. And DK's like my brother too. I'm like, what up, broski? Like when they're FaceTime, I'm like, what up, bro? And our kids love them. He's Uncle DK in our house. And then obviously Normani's like a sister to me. And I think that, when you see an opportunity for someone to experience love, especially in the way that you know it to be, why not? And so it was love at a game of cards for those two, but I'll let them tell their story. But let's just say Russ and I we were like, we need to make sure that these two get together and we'll let them take it away, you know? And so that is it's a beautiful thing when that happens like that. And so Yeah, we love seeing people experience love. Like we actually, it's really a fun thing for us. Like it's, we'll be talking to someone and be like, babe, it'll be good for her. And be like, it'll be good for him. Like we do like that. Like we
So,
love it though.
so give me some tips, because I have had some guests on the show. I've had some
Yeah.
people in my everyday life who will say to me, like, I'm looking, like, if you think of anyone, what are the
Yeah.
things that you sort of like lock in on other than the obvious, like, complementary personality traits?
Yeah. I think it's like how a person carries themselves,
Okay.
right? It's like, how do they, what's their vibes, right? Because you got to have a vibe match. We got to have a vibe check. Vibes got to be like parallel. I think too, you kind of like hear in conversation, people often say what they're looking for. And there's nothing better than when someone's intentional, right? Like DK was saying what he like wanted in his woman, and he was intentional. I'll just say that. So I'll leave it there because again, I don't want to tell their story, but let's just say like it made sense. Like, okay, and my friend Normani also knew what she wanted in her life, and they were at the perfect time in their lives. So I think that you've gotta compatibility is everything, right? And I think that it's important to like know like the traits of people and know like what their desires are. And then you just start to go, the wires start to go, something starts to happen. Then all of a sudden you're like, all right, you guys take it away.
So you're just offering the opportunity for them to let sparks fly.
It's like, for example, when you wanted love in your life, I'm assuming, before you and Jason met, I'm not sure how you guys met, but
on Tinder.
Oh, did you really meet on Tinder?
Yes.
Did you really?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. But okay, but wait.
So
This is no. Okay, listen, I don't know how all these apps work. I don't know if Tinder was one of those. Was that one of those spicy ones?
Tinder was when we met on Tinder, it was like the bare minimum. You swipe left for no, you swipe right for yes. Like that's it. You don't get to backtrack. You never see those people again. It was as simple as like yes or no.
Yeah. That's good. Yes or no. And 4 kids later.
Right.
It's all right. That was a good yes. That was a perfect yes in your lives. But it's like, I think that you have to like be clear though. I'm sure at that time you guys are both putting yourself in a place where you were looking for love, right? You were in that space.
We fell face first into it. It was like one of those where we were both just having fun. And then it was just like, oh wait, I like talking to you.
You like this fun.
Yeah. Can you guys believe I'm talking to Ciara right now? AKA Cece? Well, it turns out I coincidentally have another Cece in my life. Cece as in Sienna, as in the Toyota Sienna. What a segue, Queen Emma. You nailed that. I said it earlier. I might be done fighting the minivan fight for now, because there's just too many things I enjoy about this car. It also doesn't help that Jason and the girls have been on board from the very start. They're the ones that really broke me down. And as you could probably guess, my kid's favorite thing about the Toyota Sienna is hands down the multimedia screen. Now, in our car, there is the rule that the TV only works for long drives. It's crazy how that happens. I will tell you, with 3 kids in the car that can voice their opinions clearly, it is such a joy to not be screamed at for most of an hour and a half drive to the beach. So, shout out to Cece, my Sienna. If you're still thinking about joining me on this minivan adventure, head to your local Toyota dealership today to go for a test drive. You can also head to toyota.com/Sienna for more information. We're both moms of 4. How old are yours now?
Crazy. I have all of our babies they're spread apart 3 years in time. So
that's very nice.
Yeah. Amora is 1, soon to be 2 in December. Wynn just turned 5. Sienna's 8, and then Future's 11. What's your age gap?
We have 2 year. Well, we have 17 months in between the first 2, and then just about 2 years for the other one. So we have 5, soon to be 6, 4, 2, and 4 months.
God bless you.
Thank you.
God bless you, because That's like having twins at some point when you have that small gap like that.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, it is very much so.
Oh my gosh.
Now, one of the things that I get asked as a mama for often is for like motherhood advice. For some reason, people think that because I have 4 children, that I know what I'm doing. And I have said countless times, I don't. I am winging it as hard as I was winging it when I had our first.
Yeah.
So do people lean on you and sort of come to you seeking advice because you are a more experienced mom?
Yeah, I do get questions sometimes. And I think to your point, listen, there's no perfect way to parent. To me, the most perfect way is just like in all the imperfections, like that's in love, as well. But yeah, I definitely get asked, my thoughts on it. And I'm honestly like as long as I've been doing this mama thing, I'm still finding my way. I'm like, what are we going to do today? Like, and then plus my age gaps are so significant. So then you have the eldest who wants to play a certain way. And then the youngest, wants to just be in goo goo gaga land. It's like, what the heck?
No, I have talked a lot about the reality of postpartum on the show, calling out stuff like bouncing back after pregnancy and things that I think are a little dated. I recently saw the clip that you posted where you said, my 4 babies bless me with these stretch marks. Why am I going to cover them up?
Yeah.
I cannot even begin to tell you how much I love that. Have you always embraced sort of the changes of motherhood?
I had to find my way in it, especially like the beginning with the stomach stretching. Like that's something that's like, oh my gosh,
Yes.
like my stomach will never be the same.
Isn't that a moment? That was a moment for me where I was like, oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
We're here now.
Yeah, we're here. Oh, we're here.
So and then let's embrace it.
Yeah. And I have diastasis recti. So,
yes.
That's where the ab muscle split. For those that don't know that are watching, the ab muscle split. And there's a disconnection from like the muscle and the tissue and everything in your belly. So like if I lean forward, it like everything's going forward with me, it's like all that. And then to your point with the stretch marks, it's funny because years ago, I always would get stretch marks, or not years ago, but in pretty much every pregnancy, I would get stretch marks. And this last time I didn't do this one thing I tried, I used to get stretch mark removal. Okay. Mm-hmm. And so not all your stretch marks go away, but it did help me out a good bit with some spots. But I'm like, you know what? These are my beauty marks. Like that's where my whole inspiration from beauty marks came from. So yes, I finally have turned the corner on embracing those imperfect marks on my body because they do tell a story. They are part of like, who I am. Like, and I can't change those things. Like those things actually like have like depth to them, like in reference to where the marks come from.
There is honestly something so beautiful in that progression. Like you sharing that you previously have tried to remove them or lessen them a little bit. That I think it's really important to recognize that like nobody expects you to push out a baby and have these physical changes and look at yourself in the mirror, especially postpartum bodies are to me, I find it jarring, and I've done it 4 times. Every single time I'm like, getting dressed postpartum is an absolute nightmare. It is because you're like, oh, the baby is out. Like I should be able to fit in my jeans again. And you don't. Yeah. And I truly think like it is not when we talk about like getting to a point where you can appreciate the way your body has changed, the stretch marks that you now have. It is so important to recognize that it's not that you pushed the baby out and you looked at your body and you were like, you know what? I still got it. Because I don't think if you had that experience, amazing. That was not mine. It took me until probably after my 3rd baby to be like, you know what? My stomach is never going to look the same. Yeah. And that's okay because the tiny humans that I have created with my body, you just have to sit in like this moment of gratitude, right?
Oh like, my gosh, 100%. Wouldn't have it any other way.
But it is a build. Like you might not have that the moment that you realize your body has changed,
Yeah.
But you can get there. Now, speaking of our postpartum bodies as women, I read that you put a lot of thought into what your first drink would be when you were done breastfeeding.
Oh, yes, I
and
did.
to that point, it led you to co-owning your own rum brand, 10 to 1.
Yeah.
Tell me more about that.
Yeah, no. So back in the pandemic, it's funny because I just thinking about my album process, I've realized that I've now had 2 babies in the process of making this album. I just thought about that. But back in the pandemic, it was crazy, as you know, especially with guys playing football. Like the schedule was all kind of weird. Like it was wonky just everywhere. And I will say one of the greatest blessings was being able to have a healthy baby during that time. And I was able to have more time than normal with my babies and my family. And that's the part that I really, really appreciated the most. But I also breastfed 10 months long enough. And so it was time for your girl to celebrate that moment.
Yes.
Okay. And I actually had my first drink post-pregnancy, pregnancy and breastfeeding. And it was a mojito with 10 to 1 white rum in it. And when I tell you that this mojito was hitting, it was hitting.
Now, I do not often drink because I swear that I'm a Shirley Temple girl.
Okay. I love Shirley Temples.
And every time I go to the bar and I order a Shirley Temple, they're like a dirty Shirley. I'm like, no, don't put anything, don't ruin it with that.
Don't mess it up.
So
keep it classic.
So maybe a mojito is where I need to lean in here.
Mojito is fire.
Okay.
A rumarita.
Okay.
Thank me later. Just call me.
Here's the deal. I've tasted tequila maybe twice, and it was not for me. It was not.
Okay, so this is for you. Let me tell you,
be it. I could try
no additives
this.
Also. No additives in the rum as well. It's so smooth. I promise you
I'm
will
in.
love. Yeah,
okay, I will give it a try.
Let's go.
I cannot thank you enough for coming on Not Gonna Lie today. You are such an incredible example of a strong, powerful businesswoman, a mom. Like you said, the octopus with the tentacles out every direction, juggling everything. It is so incredible. And like I said, such a fan of you for such a long time. This is incredible.
Oh, thank you so much, Kylie. I mean, this has been a treat for me too. And, from one football mom, or, wife or whatever you want to call it, to another, very proud of you. And your journey as well in this space. I think it's so great when us women are out here figuring it all out. We don't have the perfect code or, way to do things, but we make it happen. And you're a solid and clear representation of that. And, Jason's got a real one in his house. So thank you so much for having me. This is really fun. And I look forward to just watching you keep doing your thing, keep shining.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And that's a wrap on another episode of Not Gonna Lie. You can find even more clips from my longer conversation with Ciara on my YouTube channel on More Shit Monday. Her new album, CC, is officially out August 22nd. I'll be back next Thursday with a brand new episode. Follow Not Gonna Lie on all social media at NGL with Kylie. Listen and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Not Gonna Lie is a Wave original brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. Thank you again to the real ones for tuning in.